with the directing duo Alex and Steffen, and you are watching Eclectic Arts Media.
Because of the color green, not a lot of people choose it. I don't know why.
Hi, I'm Jackson, and this is...
I'm Jake Shimobukuro.
And you're watching Eclectic Arts Media.
If I can walk out of the ring the way I walked into it, I'm happy.
Going to somewhere like that and playing those places that all those bands that you listen to play.
Life's not fair, is it?
And then I'm singing and I'm going, I'm not all by myself anymore.
Oh, whoa. Whoa.
I know.
I can get a look at my good-looking cat.
My name is Tyler Campbell, and I'm playing Actor 3 in Taproot's production of A Sherlock Carol, and you are watching Eclectic Arts Media.
I mean, I'm with me every day, all day.
Even with editing, I get irritated. I'm like, but I get quite stubborn,
And you're sitting, okay, I believe you. So,
hello, my name is Richard Wynn Sloniker. I play Hercule Poirot at Taproot and Murder on the Link.
I think I forgot your question, but I went on a different path, but it felt great.
And I need to keep as much hair as possible because particularly in Hindley Street, no one's got hair. You'd fit right in, Mark. So
I can't believe it's been that long since we talked. Time flies.
Hello, viewer bullying cards.
And you're watching Eclectic Arts Media.
Right. They may be super confused. Like, what is this woman talking about?
Projects with whatever theater I could reach around here,
All right, look here. Hey, this is Alex Story from Cancer Slug. This is Cancer Slug. And you're watching Eclectic Arts Media. See, I said it right.
Excuse me for a second. There we go. Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. I'm Mark Sugiyama from Eclectic Arts Media based here in Seattle, Washington. And thank you so much for joining me on this Monday, the 12th of January, 2026. And I'd like to thank Ingrid Sinai Buron, see if I get her name right. Sorry, Ingrid, if I butchered your name. Joined me this past Friday, and she's such a great actor. Had great stories, has spent a lot of time in TV and film and commercials and been doing live theater up here in the Seattle area. So I really enjoyed talking with her. And speaking of which, coming up, I do have a few other live streams scheduled. One particularly, we're just trying to find the actual day, which I believe is going to probably push to next week. I don't think it'll be this week. But if you'd like to know what I have coming up, please follow me as Eclectic Arts Media, one word, on Instagram. That's where I post everything first. And then some of that information migrates over to other social media platforms. And I can already see this. But if you're on my YouTube channel for the very first time, if you could do me a huge favor, and please hit the subscribe button, as well as the notification bell if you'd like to know what I have coming up distinctly. And if you're over on the Twitch side of things, if you could follow me over there, that's where I started all this virtual work back on May 22nd, 2020 with the wonderful band Alice. And if you really want to help support the channel, this streaming service costs me money. It's not something free. I don't have that tech ability to use some other things to make it work. There's a PayPal, me, and a Venmo link in every live stream description that I do. It's also over on the Twitch side as well. And that's only if you're in a position to do so, but it greatly helps me keep this thing going and help me improve some of the equipment and everything else that I have going on. So that's always wonderful. And if you would like to ask my guest a question at any time during this live stream or a future one that I have, all you have to do is join the YouTube channel or the Twitch channel, and you should have immediate access. Please be aware that I will try to take your questions and fold them into the conversation as we go. So if I'm in the middle of saying something, or if my guest is, I'm just going to hopefully politely wait until that's kind of done, and then I'll kind of fold in the questions. So just kind of know that I will get to you if I see that, and I see some people were already there before we started. So That's wonderful. All right, let's get to things. My guest today is the very first DJ that I've invited to do an interview. I had the pleasure of watching her perform last year on the Lords of Acid Little Miss Nasty tour. I thoroughly enjoyed her set, and I made a mental note to reach out to her about a possible interview, which is happening today. Please welcome to the Eclectic Arts Media virtual studio, DJ ALLEYKAT.
Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for taking the time. I really appreciate this. It's going to be fun.
This over. That's better. Whatever.
As I kind of mentioned before we went live, and also during my intro, that I haven't interviewed a DJ before, so it was really cool when I got a chance. Yeah, when I got to see your set. So let's kind of start with the current things that happened last year, and then I kind of want to work my way back to how you started off as a musician and getting into the DJ world, because as I've mentioned, that's a world I'm not really a part of, so I would like to know more about it. But let's start with the tour last year. I've seen, I don't know, maybe a few dozen DJs over the years at live concerts, usually with who's this?
Anytime I'm doing anything, he wants to be involved. This is Midnight.
Hi, Midnight.
You come to say hello?
Yay. I feel that there's going to be a clip coming from that.
All right.
But I distinctly remember when you got up and you did your set that, and this is nothing against DJs whatsoever. Sometimes I hear DJs, I'm like, this is pretty cool, I really like it. And then other ones I'm not quite, clicking with it. And yours I really, really liked. And so for me, it was that you had a lot of melody in your set. It wasn't so repetitious that I'm like, okay, is there going to be something coming in here? But everything that you played, there was some kind of melody that was really kind of grabbing me, and I really, really enjoyed that part. So one, thank you for joining the tour. But then two, how did you get involved with that whole tour, and how long have you known maybe Gina or Mark or both, or that type of thing?
Oh, I DJ'd for Little Miss Nasty a year ago, because I used to live in Vegas, and they were playing at Area 15. So Mark reached out and had booked me to do their after party at Area 15. So I did that, and then I DJ'd for them again in February. And then he reached out. He asked me in January. He was like, I have a tour coming up. We want you to come for some dates. Like, let me know what you think. And I was like, Mark, I got to tell you, I'm pregnant. I'm going to be super pregnant in March and June. Like, no, I haven't announced it yet, but he was like, okay, I'll talk to them and I'll see what they think. And then he came back to me and he was like, they love it. We want to do Pregnant Nun on tour. So I was like, okay, I'll do it. Sounds fun. So that's kind of how that happened.
Okay. Now, for yourself, did you have reservations about going on tour being pregnant?
Yeah, so I had done a little DJ tour. I think just 3 cities, nothing crazy. For about 10 days I was gone in February, and I did that, and I was like, okay, I did that went well. So when I had originally agreed to do the tour, I think it was only 11 days. It was just under 2 weeks. And then I started on the tour, and it was going so well that they had asked me, they said, can you stay for the whole month? And so then I ended up staying for 5 weeks, which was crazy.
Okay, yeah, because I remember the early ads for the tour that it showed what cities you would be on, and then I saw stuff well past that. I was like, oh, she's still on the tour. That's great.
Yep.
I
I really didn't know. I was like, well, we'll just do a week and a half. That's easy. But it went so well that I ended up just staying on.
That's very cool. I mean, that's a testament to you and how things were going. I mean, that's that's much better than the alternative.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pack your shit, get out of here.
Yeah.
And so when you were coming up with your set of music, were you basically playing the same DJ set at every show on that tour, or did you kind of mix it up depending on the city you were at?
Again, I wasn't. Usually I curate my set live. like I'll put together a playlist and then I'll kind of feel out like the audience and see like what's vibing. And I want to say in Seattle, I'm trying to remember, Seattle. Because at some point on tour, everyone seemed to really like my music. And so eventually I started just playing only my own music, only originals. But I know when I started the tour in San Francisco, I think I played only maybe half originals and the other half was other people's music. So I don't remember in Seattle what kind of set, like fully what I played. And then I think we did, I want to say it was 21 days, 21 shows. So by the time I ended the tour, at that point, I was just playing the same set over and over again. I was like, okay, this is what's working. This is what's not. Like, take stuff out, add stuff in. And then I just kept doing that every day for a month.
Okay, and that makes sense. You kind of, like you said, you kind of figured out what was working. You went to all original material, which is really cool. That people responding to your original stuff.
Yeah.
And then you
I
kind of
wasn't
think, okay.
expecting that, so it was good.
Well, and I was one of those people. I mean, you made a new fan when you played Seattle, and I was there, just kind of hanging towards the back and just kind of picking up what you're playing. I was like, wow, this is really good. And I'll be even more transparent. I thought I was probably going to be standing there for maybe 10 minutes, and I was going to go grab a drink or do something else. And I'm like, I didn't leave. I stayed there the whole set. And clearly, I'm wearing your shirt, so I bought that after the show too.
Yeah.
So your set made an impression on me, and that's, again, as far as someone who doesn't come from the DJ world, that hopefully makes you feel good.
Thank you. Were you only at Seattle show, or you came to another one?
I was only there. There was some talk, I think, before when you guys were up in Bellingham, which is north of Seattle, of trying to hit both shows, but I only ended up doing Seattle, so I didn't make it out to something else.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure if you came to the Bellingham, because I think that was only maybe an hour away.
It's not too far. It's just closer to Canada. And me just being whatever I had going on at the time. I know that was back in May. But yeah, I was so glad that I was there for everything. And then, of course, Little Miss Nasty got up there and killed it. And then Lords was just crazy. So what a bill of the three of you doing that thing. And I know it actually expanded further into the tour with other folks joining the tour later on. So
yeah.
Mark definitely seems to have his finger on like what works as a package, because the other times I've seen there's like, they had some really good things. He doesn't pick some kind of oddball thing that's so far left of field that you're like, I like this kind of stuff, but I don't like it here. And so, no, it worked really, really well. Oh, hey, Sir Higgs, good to see you. Happy New Year to you. Somebody that's, I think we met actually last year during these live streams. But one thing I was kind of curious too, that, and if you don't want to talk about that, that's perfectly fine. It must have been, because you've been pretty open about it, you had a difficult pregnancy. And so how did you keep your sanity trying to maneuver all that stuff when it wasn't going so well for you?
I don't know. It was really, really hard. I did not expect that. So yeah, because I remember when I was pregnant, I was just so sick like the whole time. It got better sometimes, but it was pretty rough, especially at the very beginning. Like the first few months were really hard.
Okay. And how is motherhood now?
It's different struggles. I'd say I feel like it's better, but still not great. Right now I'd say the biggest struggle is that we aren't sleeping. Like, it's just such broken sleep. Even last night, I think the longest stretch he did was maybe 3 hours. So it's like when you're waking up every 2-3 hours, it's exhausting.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't have children of my own, but I've had some sleep issues over the years. And yeah, when you can't get good sleep consistently at night after night, that shit catches up to you quick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd say like one night, maybe a few weeks, but we're at 5 months. I'm like, when is it gonna get better? And it is. Eventually, it'll get better. There was in October, he was sleeping like 7-8 hours straight, and that was the best. I was like, this is okay, we're doing great. And then we hit 4 months, and then it just all went downhill. So I'm waiting for it to go back to normal.
Well, hopefully that happens soon.
Yeah.
And so, like, and you kind of mentioned that a lot of times with your DJ sets that you're going to curate things, and then so for somebody like me that's trying to learn, what's going on with this, are you trying to pick and figure out songs that you're going to work from for your set, and then when you're actually DJing, what are you adding into, what the people in the audience are hearing? Because that's what I'm not quite sure about. Is a track playing and then you're changing things around, or what's really going on from the DJ perspective here?
I don't really change too much with the tracks live. Sometimes I'll edit tracks like before I play, if I'll shorten them or add stuff in. And then when I play live, I usually just am transitioning to different tracks, because I'm usually only playing maybe about a minute or so of each track, so it's pretty quick.
Okay. And then I just saw something. Didn't you just play like a set from this past Saturday into Sunday?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's again, for somebody like me that's asking these kind of basic bonehead questions, but I saw the time, that wasn't it like midnight to 5 a.m. or something?
It was in after hours, yeah. But I didn't play that whole time. I only played 1 hour, but I closed. I played at 4 a.m.
Okay. So if it's an after hour set, is that typical, the time chunk then, depending on how many DJs they're going to have and how long the party is going to go then?
Yeah, usually I'd say a typical set is anywhere from like 1 hour to 2 hours. When I was on tour, I was only doing, I'd say, anywhere from like 20 to 45 minutes. It was much shorter. But yeah, I'd say a typical set's usually anywhere from like 1 hour to 2 hours.
Okay. And then for just you personally, when you're performing, even like this past weekend, when do you feel that you've had a good set, and when is it like, nah, I wasn't quite up to snuff?
What do you mean?
So like, I know as a musician, when I played in a duo around town, we were playing cover songs, and we could kind of tell just with us, regardless of who was there in the audience or how good the energy was, we could tell just between the two of us if we were kind of like in the pocket and playing a good set, or like sometimes, oh, that set was kind of rough and we were kind of struggling through it. I don't know if that's something similar for DJs.
Yeah, I know Saturday's set went well. It was smooth, is what I would consider went well. Is smooth transitions. Nothing faulty happened. Like I remember when I was on tour, the power went out while I was in the middle of my set when I was in Utah.
Oh wow.
So that's like my worst fear, is the power going out and all the music stopping, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. But yeah, no, Saturday went really smooth. I know I have had other sets where I'll have like a rough transition, or I'll put a song on and I didn't really know what I was playing, because some of the music, I'll download music like that week, and so sometimes I'm playing new stuff and I don't really fully know the songs yet. So sometimes I'll put something on, I'll be like, oh, I did not know that's what I was selecting. I need to get out of this. So.
Okay. All right. And like you mentioned, when you're on tour, when the power went out, have you had other things like that during your career, performance-wise, where something, either the power went out or I don't know, your equipment failed you or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, it happens on occasion. Definitely. I know in Utah, it was the power cable that was connecting everything. I guess the fuse went out or whatever, so we had to switch out the cable.
Okay, so that sounds like it got fixed pretty quickly then.
I fixed it, yeah.
Okay. I remember I saw a band here in Seattle, and which is common, they had a laptop to play some tracks behind them, and it was their last song. I think that was kind of like their big song for the fans there, and the laptop crapped out on him, and he was literally trying to grab another laptop to boot it up and get those tracks going. And I felt so bad for them, because it was like a good, maybe 10 minutes. And it's like they were kind of looking at you, maybe we should just cut this, we're done. Or try to play something acoustically if we can. And then he got everything running up, and the people were like, "Yay!"
Yeah. I don't think I've ever had like 10 minutes, maybe a minute max. It's usually
Okay.
pretty quick recovery.
All right. And I see someone's asking talk about Cat Scratch, please.
Oh, that's my record label.
Okay.
Is that on YouTube? I have the chat up here. Oh,
Yeah.
yes. What? I know, this cat. He wants to be in the interview. Yeah, so I started a record label in 2024. So that's what Cat Scratch is. It's my record label.
Okay. And are you looking for certain types of music or artists that you sign to it, or what's involved?
Yeah, so I only do EDM. Any kind of electronic music is what I am looking for, is what I sign. But yeah.
All right. And is that something with your label that are you putting out things just digital only, or are you putting out any kind of like, vinyl stuff, or what's going on with that aspect of it?
Yeah, it's just digital. Through just the distributor, it goes to like Apple Music or Spotify. Eventually I'd love to like get some CDs made to sell at shows. That's something I've always wanted to do, but right now it's just digital.
Okay. And I mentioned this to you, forgive me, I have kind of a random mind, so my mind goes all over the place. That I really like where you're located, and you're saying you're in the photo studio at your place.
Mm-hmm.
Is that stuff that you're doing strictly for your DJ work, that when you're doing photos and that kind of thing, or am I missing something else that you're also involved with?
Yeah, we got a really big house when I moved here, and it had like a loft. It came with a loft, which we didn't really need the extra space. So when we were trying to figure out what to put in here, my fiance, he has a lot of video stuff and photo stuff, and he's been doing that for a while. So we ended up just making this kind of into like a photo studio. And I do have like my DJ stuff set up eventually. Maybe I'll do like a live stream.
Okay, yeah, 'cause that was actually something when I was on the Inside Out virtual tour with Alice. They had DJs every night as part. They basically viewed it like if they were actually in person doing a tour. So you have a band open, then there'd be a DJ for maybe 15, 20 minutes, and there'd be another band, that kind of a thing. And I was just curious if you're ever gonna, or maybe you already have done some live streaming through like Twitch or something, because it seems like DJs tend to be over on that side of this equation.
Yeah, I've only done Twitch twice. I don't remember why I never really got into it, but I was doing videos for YouTube every week, and that was going really well, and then I got really sick, so then I stopped, and then I just never got back into it.
Okay, all right. So it's something there if you decide that you have the time and the bandwidth that you can dust it off and kind of get back to it if you choose to do so then.
Yeah. Once I have the time, then I'll definitely be doing live streams again.
Okay, and getting some regular sleep.
Yeah.
Oh man. So if you could take me back, what got you involved in music in general, like way back when, like when you were younger? What kind of things were you taking lessons? Were you into bands and that kind of thing? How did things start for you?
I was in 4th grade, and they told me that if I play the violin, that I'll get into college.
Okay.
So I joined orchestra. That is not the case, by the way. But that's what they told me. So I started playing violin in orchestra, and then I switched to do the viola. And then I saw like this guy playing guitar on like Nickelodeon or whatever show I was watching, and I was like, that's cool, I want a guitar now. So then I got a guitar. And then I joined a band. I joined a metal band when I was, 13. And then I went to music school originally for orchestra, and then I switched over. I started playing the bass guitar at the school. So that's my background on all that. And then I just started DJing. I had friends like refer me to it. They were like, oh, you should learn how to DJ and then you can do parties. I was like, okay, like that sounds fun. I'll try it out. And that was probably like 2019 when I started DJing or learning.
Okay. What do you remember about those early times when you were DJing back in 2019, like when you're starting out?
Well, so I stopped playing in bands. It was 2014, 2015 is when I stopped. And then I was looking for something new. So then I started doing performance. I started doing burlesque and like fire dancing. And so I was getting booked for a lot of like goth parties or like alternative parties. And the guy who ran those parties was like, you should DJ and you could DJ these parties. And then I had another friend during COVID, when everything was shut down, I would just go over to his house every single day and I would just play music at his house. And because he would have people over, like not like a crazy party, but just like a few people over. And every day I would like practice DJing. So.
Okay, so that's where you kind of cut your teeth in those early things during COVID. Did you have any when we came out of it, and do you remember like your first big gig that you played as a DJ?
So I started DJing at a bar that I still DJ at in 2020 because they found a loophole where they were having parties outside.
Oh.
So I started doing those in 2020. And then after that, I moved to Vegas and I started doing events in Vegas once I moved in 2021. And at that time, I had been asked by Vampires Everywhere, just like a band, if I would go on tour with them and do the same kind of thing with Little Miss Nasty, where I would like open the show DJing. And so I got to do that. And that was really cool. So.
Okay. So it's kind of it's like your band world and your DJ world kind of came together because you could go on tour, but you're going to be a DJ this time. So playing bass or playing guitar.
Yeah.
All right.
I was playing like emo music, like emo night.
Okay.
Yeah. So not like electronic music, but it was still DJing.
Right. So it's kind of another step that's going to take you to where you are now with what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm just having this thought because I have had a couple of these Little Miss Nasty posters finally framed and stuck on my wall, and I'm looking at the one from last year that you were a part of. And what was it? Your idea? Was it Gina's idea for the nun part when you come into their set?
Yeah, I don't remember how it came about. I think maybe she mentioned it or I mentioned it. I don't remember, but somehow we discussed it. And she was like, oh, you should come out during my like Catholic schoolgirl thing. And you can come out and you can bring me the candle and you can kiss me. I was like, okay, I'll do it. So that's what I did. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And like you said, you had a background with burlesque and fire and that type of thing. So this is completely, you're used to performing in front of people, not only just as a DJ, but just as an entertainer, basically. So, okay. And because I know I have a picture of that, maybe a couple pictures of that when you came out. And I'm like, yeah, this sounds like, or looks like something that Little Miss Nasty would have incorporated into their set.
Yeah. I definitely would have done more with the nun if I was feeling better. But it was like doing my set, doing the little scene with Gina, and then selling merch and like meeting people. It's like that was a lot in itself. But if I had more energy, I would have loved to like go on stage with Lords of Acid they have a little like nun thing too going on. So, but I never did that when I was on tour. By the time it was like 10 p.m., I was like, No, my nun outfit is off. I am in comfy clothes.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. That you found the right medium or balance of what you could do on that tour, and trying to do too much was like just not in the cards based on how you were feeling. So, how do you, I mean, it was a little different for you because it was hard with the pregnancy at the time, but is it, would you look forward to doing another tour in the future with anybody?
Yeah, I definitely am open to it. I'm not sure what that would look like with the child. I don't know if we're gonna get like a van and all go together. I have no idea, but I'm definitely open to it. I know right now doing like a weekend gig is really easy, but doing like a 5-week tour, I'm not sure how it would work. But I'm open to it.
Okay, all right. Yeah, there's been at least 1 or 2 bands that have come through here, and they had their family basically, and it was usually that as long as there is somebody there, which is usually the partner, significant other that can watch the child while the person's on stage, it kind of worked. But even then, a lot of times, I'm thinking of one band, they had basically like a nanny with them, an additional person. So that way, if they wanted to kind of get away and they kind of take care of business in the club, somebody was watching in this case, it was their son most of the time. And it seemed to work out. And that tour was maybe about 3 weeks, something.
Yeah, we definitely, I'd probably bring my fiance and then like maybe my parents or his mom or something. We would need multiple people.
Okay, yeah, for sure. And we kind of go back into the DJ world. The gear that you're using, has that been the same gear? Have you been upgrading it as you've been going along and doing shows, or how do DJs kind of look at their gear?
Yeah, so what I had on tour, like the equipment that I was using, that's what I bought back in 2021. When I moved to Vegas, I was like, I want to pursue DJing full time. So I went down to Guitar Center and I like bought like equipment. And I was like, okay, I have it now. And then I took that on tour with Vampires Everywhere, and it was the same equipment that I took for Little Miss Nasty. But I did buy the table. That table was new, which I liked that booth. It worked out a lot better.
Okay. Yeah. And I mean, and people if you saw the video at the beginning, it looks really cool. And and that kind of also goes into your visual aesthetic. Was ALLEYKAT like a natural name that you came up with for your DJ name, or were there other things that you're also considering instead of that?
I don't know if I ever considered a different name. It's just I've been going by ALLEYKAT since like 2011. Pretty much when I started in the band, in the rock band, is when I started going by ALLEYKAT online. And I remember, so I used to watch the movie Burlesque. I don't know if you know the movie with like Christina Aguilera and Cher. And in the movie, I don't remember who, I think I forget the guy's name. He calls her ALLEYKAT. And I was like, oh, that's so cute. And I think that's how I started going by the name.
Okay.
Because people had already called me Allie in like school and stuff. Was my nickname. So, and then obviously I like cats.
So yeah, it was a perfect fit then, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. And then have you always been into, I mean, you're clearly inked up, and like you said, you're performing in like goth alternative type of clubs and shows. So is that something you've always been drawn to, that side of the world, basically?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Even like I said, when I was 13, I joined the metal band, and I remember we started doing festivals. Like the first show I ever did was like a festival, like a metal festival. So I was always like into that, just right off the bat.
Okay. Do you remember your first tattoo? Which one it is and how long ago it was?
Yeah, so I got a bass clef and an alto clef tattooed on my ankles when I was 18.
Okay, and then what's the newest piece on you?
Newest? I don't know, because I haven't been able to get anything, because you're not supposed to get pregnant when you're tattooed or breastfeeding. Oh, my arm, he's telling me. Oh yeah, probably one of my arms. I have that one probably. I think is newer. It's
Okay.
the goddess symbol, and then I got that one recently too.
Okay.
I'm like, yeah.
Do you have Midnight anywhere on you?
Yeah, he's on my leg.
Okay. All right. And, it seems like a lot of people that I interview that are pet lovers are also either vegetarian or vegan. Is that also the case with you?
I am vegan, yeah.
Okay. And how long have you been vegan?
8 years.
8 years. All right. Okay. And was it because of did something switch in your head, or just kind of like you saw something like, okay, I gotta change my lifestyle here?
Yeah, I think I guess I must have been, I'm trying to think, 21-ish. I saw a documentary on Netflix called What the Health, and it just opened my eyes to so many things that I just never thought of before. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there's been, I forget the name of that one that I saw. And that whole industry is just like, if you haven't seen any of these kind of documentaries, folks, it doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to change, what you're going to do. That's a individual choice, but at least it'll give you some information about what you're consuming and how it's produced and what they're doing. It's pretty disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah, there was so much that I didn't know, maybe because I just didn't want to know, I guess. But once I found out about all these things, I was like, wow, like this is really messed up. And then especially just now that I've been pregnant and now I'm breastfeeding, I absolutely cannot support the dairy industry, because it's just, I had a miserable pregnancy. I can't imagine the poor cows that are forced to be pregnant all the time.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good point. I mean, you think about that and some of the other animals that are produced for the, like eggs and, things of that nature. It's like that's, people get up in arms when there's puppy mills kicking out puppies all the time. It's the exact same thing with what we're doing for what you eat that you get at the grocery store. So,
Yeah, there's definitely a disconnect sometimes with people with pets versus animals that they eat.
Yeah. But yeah, okay. But that's great that you've been doing it for so long too. I know a couple of people, they watch that kind of thing and then they say, you know what, I'm going to change my lifestyle, and they try, and then something maybe lasts like a year. I'm thinking of one person right now, a friend of mine, hers lasted the length of her relationship with who she was with, and then when they broke up, then she went back to eating certain types of animals, not every animal, but okay. And is Midnight the only cat that you have, or is there another one lurking around?
I had another cat, but he died in June while I was on tour.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm trying to remember. I think I was in Wichita. Yeah. So this was a few days after Seattle. So I actually flew home. I flew home that night from, where's Wichita, Kansas?
Yep.
Saying Kansas? I don't remember. It's all a blur. I think that's where I was. Yeah, I went to the airport, I flew home, and it was just like I was at my set and I did my set, and then I finished my set and they were like, yeah, we're gonna have to put him down. I was like, okay, I'm booking a flight, and I flew home.
Like this.
And then we put him down, and then I flew back. I met everyone in Chicago. I only missed one show, but I don't feel like I could have been home like for any longer. It was so sad.
Yeah, no, again, I'm really sorry to hear that. And it's, you telling that story, I think I remember seeing some stuff on social media from you about that. Like, hey, I got to get out of town here and go back home because of this. And then then you showed back up on tour.
My kitty.
Oh.
I assume he's pink. He was pink.
Wow. Yeah, anyone that has pets knows that how you just become synergetic with them. I mean, and if you have them that, 5 years, 10 years, 15 plus years, and you see them every single day, they are very much just like another, if it's your kid or if it's your, roommate or your partner or whoever. And people that don't have pets don't understand that part of it. I don't have some now, but I always have most of my life. So it's like, yeah. I remember there was I think it was a movie, and they're talking about why do you have a pet in your home? And the lady said, because I want to have another heartbeat here. And it's like, no, that's pretty true. You always want something kind of around you, and it feels pretty empty when you don't. That's how that's how my place is right now, because I don't have one. But we'll see if we can rectify that in the future. But yeah, and Midnight is sure curious. That's such a curious cat. Usually when I've had cats, dogs, kids, partners, other people show up during live streams, they don't stay very long, but boy, he he wants to be where you're at.
He is very attached. He's always been very attached.
That's cool. Now, where did you get Midnight from way back when he was a kitten?
The trash.
Really?
No. Well, so my other cat, Luna, he was found abandoned, and so I took him in. And then Midnight, I took in probably about a month later, and it was just somebody at my apartment complex had kittens. They said they had black and orange kittens. So I was like, "Oh, Halloween cats!" So got a black cat, only appropriate.
And how old is Midnight?
He's 9.
Okay.
I think he's 9. I'm pretty sure he's 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I got him in 2016. So yeah.
So yeah, so that'd be 9 going on 10.
Yeah, he'll be 10 in June.
Okay. And if we go back to, like, are most of the DJ gigs on Fridays and Saturdays is my guess, but do they ever do one where it's like on a Tuesday?
Yeah, I mean, they have them all every night of the week, but Friday, Saturday are the most popular for sure.
Okay. And do they typically have like 3 or 4 DJs? So you're one of those folks that are doing that event?
Yeah.
Okay. So so if we use the example of the one you just had this weekend, what do you like about other DJs? Like, what are you listening for when you see them do their set?
Normally I listen, so especially lately because of the baby, I show up as late as I can. So I only get there maybe 30 minutes before my set. Sometimes an hour if I can. But yeah, usually I get there, I check in, I go to the bathroom, I get ready, and then I start. The only thing I'm really hearing is sometimes other DJs will play the same tracks that I have in my set. So I'll just take a mental note. I'll be like, okay, I should not play that track. Yeah. But that's pretty much it. I'm trying to think. Yeah.
Okay. Are there any DJs anywhere in the world that you look up to as somebody like, man, if I could ever get to their level, that's my goal?
I don't know. I don't know what my goal is.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. Like, I'm a huge fan of like David Guetta, but he's like very up there. Yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like you're.
If I could open for him, that'd be great.
All right. Well, if, like you said, if you don't have a goal right now, it could be that you're taking it as it comes. And like you said, you have a baby, obviously, too, so that's influencing how often you can be doing things and how late you can be doing them. But as things kind of keep progressing, you're still enjoying it, and then crowds get bigger and more requests for you to come do this event. I'm sure you know this even from being in the band, that you just never know who's there sometimes in the audience, checking you out, and you're like, and they come talk to you later, or they hit you up later on social media or find your email. Because I know that's happened both ways for me as a media person, and also when I was on stage, kind of like, I don't know, we're just kind of getting up here and having fun. If somebody asked me that question back then, I didn't have a goal. It was, yeah, we're doing this like once a week, and we're having a good time, and we're trying to find new places to play and add new songs to our set. But other than that, as long as it's fun, we're going to keep doing it. And if it wasn't, then it's like, maybe we've got to kind of take a break from this. And on the media side of it, it's been interesting because sometimes I've been at shows here. There's a club that's no longer here anymore, but they would have like, gosh, maybe like 3 local bands open for a touring act that came through. And I remember once they were handing out CDs to people, and there were, because there's probably, I don't know, maybe like a dozen people. It's really early into the set. And they didn't give one to me. And so I'm just, and they don't know. I mean, I'm just standing there with my camera bag. But then after the set, I went over to their table. I was like, hey, I saw that you guys were handing out some stuff. Do you still have any more copies of that? Because I'm here writing a review about this whole show. I'm like, oh, really? And they were trying to scramble around to find one. And I think they actually went out to their car to grab one and give it to me. And said, yeah, and I'm not trying to, be a jerk or anything. I said, I would like to check out your music because I thought your set was pretty good. So of all the people they missed, it was the media person.
Yeah.
But again, I'm just very unassuming, just kind of sitting there. But now if I hear or see something, I definitely go up and want to talk to people and said, hey, this is what I do. And maybe later we can jump on a live stream and do an interview, or I'd like to just kind of find out more about what you got going on. That's why I made sure. And I think I had like 5 drinks in me too. And I don't drink much at your show. So afterwards, I was like, don't forget to go to her table and look at her stuff because I wanted something. I already had Little Miss Nasty stuff. And so I'm kind of like, okay. And I'm so thankful that I actually did. And I don't know what blather came out of my mouth at the time when I came to your table, but hopefully it was something about that I really enjoyed your set, because I did.
Yeah.
And then I saw the shirt, so I'm like, oh, do you have this size? Yeah, I think I have that size. And you went through and boom. You had a lot of merch, if I remember right, too. A lot of options of things that you could pick up.
I had some stuff made for the I had some stuff made for the tour, and then I actually had some stuff left over from when I did the Vampires Everywhere tour. Like I had some prints left over, so I just brought all that, and I was like, whatever sells, great.
Okay.
But I think I had only made like 3 things specifically for that tour. 3 or 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And for people watching this now or watching it down the road, do you have merch available somewhere online that they can buy or look at?
So I took my store down during my maternity leave because I just didn't want to pay for it. It's not up yet. I need to put it back up. I'm working on it. So, but it'll be on my website.
Okay.
It's just DJALLEYKAT.com.
There you go. And speaking of which, do you have other DJ gigs coming up this month or next month?
Yeah, I'm playing in Phoenix on Saturday.
Phoenix on Saturday. Okay. And is this stuff where they need to like DM to find out where to go kind of thing? Or is it like publicly known?
It's an afters. The flyer and stuff is online. Because there's a party going on during like normal hours for Laid Back Luke. He's the headliner, and then I'm doing the after party for that.
Okay. All right, cool. So that's good. You're going to be in Phoenix. Is there anything beyond the Phoenix show?
Nothing that's announced yet. Yeah. Nothing I can share yet.
So if you go to the website, I know all your social media links are there on the website as well, so people can follow you and see what's coming up and where you're going to be, and how to be there in some cases, so they know like where to go. Again, it was just such a pleasure getting a chance to talk with you and learn more about this. And hopefully, as things get better and your son sleeps 8 hours and all these things happen, maybe you'll end up back on a tour that ends up coming back to the Northwest where I'm at, because I'd love to see her here again. Or if I end up going down that way, because I know some people keep telling me, you got to come back down to Los Angeles more. Maybe I'll end up being that actually catch you doing your thing in your in your backyard.
Yeah, I'm definitely planning a national tour for the fall.
Okay, awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
Don't forget us up here.
Yes, no, I'll definitely be stopping in Seattle for sure.
Awesome. I see. Is there any cat scratch events in Thailand came through the chat?
I want to go out to Thailand. Oh, it's so funny. Yeah. I've been trying to plant seeds. I'm like, oh, when our lease is up, we should go visit Thailand. So we'll see. I definitely want to go out there maybe over the summer. So we'll see. We're working on it. Nothing currently, but working on it.
Okay, cool. So it sounds like you do have some plans though. Like you said, fall tour, maybe getting out to Thailand. There's some things that you would like to see happen. So they're on the radar. They're just kind of trying to get it to the center to make it a reality.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, ALLEYKAT, thank you again so much for taking the time. You have the distinction now of being the first DJ. So anytime if I have one from this point on, I'll be like, oh, the first DJ I had was ALLEYKAT. So
yeah.
You will always be the OG and the foundation veteran for DJ interviews that I've done. Yeah, again, I hope I'll get a chance to see you up here in Seattle. And thank you so much for taking the time. And everybody in the chat, thank you for being there and watching. And go support this lady. She's really, really talented.
Well,
Bye.
thank you.
Yeah, bye everybody.